Maybe I'm being a big dum-dum right now. Maybe I'm just stupid. But I really cannot for the life of me understand tax the rich. Like, it's already a stupid plan, but the average person who supports tax the rich seems to believe that the entire movement is about, breaking into Elon Musk's house and stealing his money. So let's say we do it. America seizes 50% of the net worth of every single billionaire, all 550 living in America. Now, most of their money isn't sitting in a bank somewhere or in a Scrooge McDuck pile of money. Most of it is in investment opportunities or stocks in their own corporation or many others. So we will, in essence, be stealing this money from many different businesses and other organizations around America. But that doesn't matter because we tax the rich. We got that big lump sum, and now out of the $4 trillion of assets of every billionaire in America, we have $2 trillion of new tax revenue. But that's not enough. Corporate income tax is 25% right now. Let's up that to 50%, double it, which, by the way, would cost the GDP trillions and trillions of dollars, crash the economy entirely. So in fiscal year 2021, we extracted $284 billion from corporate income tax. So that's great. Now, in the fiscal year 2021, we have gained new tax revenue from the seizing of billionaires' assets, as well as our new corporate tax, to the tune of about $2.2 trillion in new tax revenue. Unfortunately, though, and this is a bit of a reality check moment, America has incurred in the fiscal year 2021 about $2.7 trillion of new debt. So even though we have reduced the credibility of America to a banana republic and reduced the economy to a pile of rocks and stones, we are still in the red, in the net negative for the fiscal year 2021. We don't even have enough money to break even, let alone pay for ending homelessness forever or ending world hunger or whatever the proposal is. Like, I don't think people understand just how bad the economy is these days or the state of American money. Like, from the year 2017 to 2019, okay, no coronavirus, no Great Recession, no nothing, okay? We were going in, on average, $1.25 trillion into debt every single year. From the year 2010 to now, the average is $1.37 trillion of debt we are going into every single year. And this, of course, has led us to the behemoth that is $28.9 trillion that we are in debt to this day. For reference, the World Bank, which is an association which does pretty much all of the statistical analysis of economics in different countries around the world, according to them, at around 77% debt to GDP ratio, a country kind of explodes. We are currently at 126% debt to GDP ratio. Any way you look at it, America is upside down in debt. And if that isn't bad enough, the reason that we are taxing the rich people in the first place is so that we can spend $40 trillion, according to Bernie Sanders, over 10 years. I mean, even CNN is saying that this stuff is likely to cost $60 trillion. And both of these price points are on paper, so we are assuming that the government is going to spend the taxpayer dollar in a price-efficient and intelligent manner. Now, of course, there's more funding opportunities which are being proposed by, like, Bernie Sanders types, but if you look at what is actually the source of this new tax revenue, it isn't billionaires, It's much less from the billionaires than what I said. The people taking the brunt of these taxes are going to be business owners and business operations, okay? And we aren't talking about McDonald's by business taxes, we are talking about Jimmy's Diner down the street. I mean, first off, we're assuming that all these corporations with massive political influence aren't going to lobby politicians to get their names written off of the bill or get some sort of exemption. So working off the assumption that they don't just simply buy politicians like they already do, I know that Jeff Bezos can afford to pay $50 million to a team of 50 lawyers to find every single tax loophole in the world, but I can't, dude. And this is just real debt that we have. This isn't speculated debt or unfunded liabilities. The amount of debt the US owes to American citizens in unfunded liabilities is currently $158 trillion. That is right, $158 trillion of debts that the US government owes to normal people, just like you, your granddad. It's called the pension debt, that it does not have the money to pay back. $20 trillion in Social Security unfunded liabilities. $30 trillion in unfunded liabilities to Medicare and Medicaid. Here's another little fun fact. In the last 2 years, M1 and M2's money supply, or liquid money, has more than quadrupled. The amount of money, liquid money in America has quadrupled in the last 2 years. Without knowing anything about economics other than more money printed means inflation, tell me if this graph looks normal and healthy to you. Listen, I hate corporations personally, and honestly, if you forced me to answer, I don't even really like rich people. The point I am trying to get at is that the US economy, the US dollar, and honestly the world economy in general has already sunk all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. Not only are we in unrecoverable debt, we don't have any plan to try to make an attempt. The only attempt we ever make when it comes to the debt and the deficit is that all the congressmen get together every year and say, oh crap guys, we blew past the budget this year. I guess let's just write a bill saying that we can spend more money. The US dollar essentially works off of Tinkerbell's fairy magic, where it's real if you believe in it. Like without considering any future unexpected massive government spending like Biden does plan, what are we going to be in terms of debt in 10 years without this Green New Deal, tax the rich, all this garbage? We're going to be over $50 trillion in debt. I just don't see too much of a difference between being $90 trillion in debt and $50 trillion in debt. I just don't get it. Like no one understands the place that we are in. We are using monopoly money, guys. Why do you have to take my monopoly money? Like, just lie. I don't get it. Just have CNN release some report that said you passed the Green New Deal and it cost $1,200. You know, this is where we are, and Republicans can't be persuaded to spend $5 billion on a wall.